Welcome to the Three Musketeers, the sibling podcast that understands your Disney addiction. I'm Jared.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Emily.
On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about our second episode, talking about the movies that we love. This is the Renaissance era, and it's 1990 to 2009. But first, are you guys ready for some trivia?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's going to be a fun one. Who was Donald Duck's first love interest? We have Donna Duck, Diana Duck, Destiny Duck, or Daphne Duck?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not Daphne. Wasn't that from Looney Tunes?
That's Daffy Duck.
Daffy.
Oh, you're right. No, I was thinking it was Daffy's girlfriend.
I don't know
Maybe
that
not.
Daffy has a girlfriend.
Okay. I could be wrong.
Can you say the answers again?
I can. Is it Donna Duck, Diana Duck, Destiny Duck, or Daphne Duck?
I really don't know. None of those are ringing a bell. I mean, I don't want to think about Donald with anyone but Daisy.
That is kind of the thing, right? Like, you think Daisy Duck, and that's it. That's the only person that's ever been a love interest for Donald. But that would be incorrect.
Yeah, but that's just awful. How dare he?
Well,
I'm going to go with Destiny.
Most people have more than one girlfriend or boyfriend in their lifetime, so
I mean,
I
how
would
many
think
love
most people
interests?
do.
How many love interests has Mickey had?
That's what I'm saying. Just many. She's his ride or die.
That is very true.
Yeah. I'm going with Destiny. Sounds... I really don't know. It
I
kind
don't
of
think
sounds
it's
familiar.
Destiny.
Okay.
But I
Emily's
was
going with
wrong.
Destiny. Amanda,
I
what
was
are you going with?
thinking, I was narrowing it down to Diane or Donna,
Okay.
just because it sounds like more old-fashioned names than Destiny. And he came about a long time ago, so I'm gonna go with Diane.
Okay,
I don't know
Amanda.
if that's right, but
Okay. So you're going with Diana Duck. Emily, you're going with Destiny Duck. You guys do this
Yep.
every single time.
we love you, Jared.
Ah, man. Okay, so you had a 50-50 shot, basically, and you both got it wrong. It is, in fact, Donna
Ooh.
Duck.
Oh, that was my
Donna.
other choice. I
So-
changed my mind.
She was actually the first love interest of Donald Duck in a 1937 theatrical short called Don Donald.
I have not seen that, I don't think. But that's interesting. I just hadn't thought about Donald being with anyone else before.
Yeah,
me
it's
either.
hard to think about him being with somebody else other than Daisy, because we've just known Daisy for so long at this point.
So I wonder what happened to Donna.
I don't know.
That's a great question.
She moved.
There we go. Let's go with that.
She migrated to Canada. All right, Emily, why don't you give us a history fact?
Okay, for today's history, we are going to talk a little bit about New Orleans Square at Disneyland. So, New Orleans Square opened in July of 1966, specifically July 24th, 1966, and it was the first land to be added to Disneyland after the park opened in 1955. And they pretty much began planning for this land like immediately after the park opened, but of course it took a little while and then it opened 10 years later. But the area is about 3 acres And what I found really interesting was that the mayor of New Orleans was there with Walt to open this land. And it was actually one of Walt's last public appearances before he passed away later that same year. So I thought that that was really interesting. The way that this land was planned was kind of planned out to be a little bit different than all of the other lands. And instead of being focused on attractions, it was supposed to have more dining and shopping options than rides. But of course, it does have two rides. It has Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion, which are two classic favorite attractions. And then on top of that, it has several different dining options and shops. And I know that Walt kind of wanted to like pay tribute to his wife, who he loved very much. And he put like, I guess, shop fronts that are representative of antique shops because his wife liked antique shops, or I guess liked antiques so much. So I thought that that was really cute. And yeah, I mean, this land is still there, and I know it's a fan favorite. And personally, it's my favorite in Disneyland. It's just a really cool feel and has some of the best restaurants, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's New Orleans Square.
Very cool.
That's cool. I am excited to go back there. I don't really remember it from the time I went to Disneyland before. And so I'm looking forward to having a fresh perspective of Disneyland when I go back this time.
Yeah, I mean, this area is just a really cool feeling. It's like 18th century New Orleans, and it's just really cool. And you have to try the Mickey beignets and the mint juleps from the mint julep bar.
If
Just
and
throwing that
when
out there.
Tip.
if and when I get there, I will try it.
Yeah, I definitely want to try the Mickey beignets. I want to also try Blue Bayou, which is in that area, and I'm really looking forward to trying it. So hopefully they have reservations open up again soon so I can make reservations for my trip.
Yeah, hopefully so. I've heard really great things about Blue Bayou.
Yeah. And I know they've opened up again recently, but it's all walk-in. So we shall see.
Yeah.
All right, Amanda, how about a tip?
All right. Have either of you heard of Disney Rash?
No.
No, gross.
Okay. Well, apparently it is a big thing and a big problem, especially when you're going to Disney during the summer. And it's basically like an exercise induced vasculitis is what it really is. But your legs like turn really red and it looks like you have a rash all over them. People get it when they go to Disney a lot. So since it's the summer, I wanted to give a few tips to help try to prevent anyone from getting Disney rash. First of all, it is a good idea before your trip to walk a little bit, maybe every day. Try to build yourself up for walking, like 13 miles a day in Disney World. And then another good tip is to try to stay out of the sun as much as possible. I know that's really hard during the summer there, but if you have the option to be out of the sun, it's probably a good thing to do. Also, drink lots of water. And finally, there's this stuff called prickly heat powder, and you kind of dust yourself with it on your legs, and it keeps your legs from sweating. So maybe some good tips. Try to save you a little bit of pain.
I thought it was going to be something that was having to do with the water at Disney in the summer, and that's not fun.
Yeah, like after you ride a ride and then you have to walk around in the heat all day and you get blisters. That's what I thought it was going to be
no,
too.
that's not
That's
fun.
awful.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this is usually more on your calves, and it's all down there. So I would think the water would cause more of a thigh burns, I guess, where your legs rub together. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's
Yeah.
ways to mitigate that as well, but
Oh, yeah.
like I'm wondering, like how many people will just wear like bathing suits, like board shorts or something like that to the parks? There has to be a lot, right? I mean, it's summer.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But you could wear like the moisture wicking stuff, and I know they make like dressier shorts now like that too, and shirts, and then the towels you could put around your neck. So I can definitely see people wearing stuff like that at the parks. I don't necessarily think bathing suits though. I'm sure some do, but
I bet there's a lot of people that wear board shorts.
Well, some of those swimsuits look like shorts, so you
Yeah,
might
like
not even know.
legitimate shorts.
that's true. To me, I don't know that a swimsuit would be comfortable wearing it all day long in a park. But
I mean,
maybe that's just
you
me.
do for like a splash parks and stuff.
Yes, but you're not walking 13 miles a day in a splash park, typically.
I mean, fair, but
And you're typically in the water a good amount of the time.
I think they're pretty comfortable though. Like I could
Okay.
wear them for a while. I might, you know what? I'm gonna bring some board shorts with me.
Oh, good
I'm
grief.
gonna test
Test it
this theory
out.
out. Yeah, and then I'll let everybody know because I do this for
All
you
right.
guys.
Uh-huh.
You know, one thing that you could do is you could just rent a Rascal scooter.
Oh, what?
You could.
One of the electric scooters, Em.
An electric scooter.
Oh.
It's a brand of electric scooter.
It is.
And that shows you how old Jared is that he's talking about him by name.
I mean, I'm
Jared's been
going to
looking
the
into
doctor
it.
to look into getting myself one. Yes,
Oh, gosh.
I am that old.
Uh-huh.
Jeez. No, I don't think that you should rent one of those unless you absolutely need it because that I don't think it would be fun moving around the park in one of those.
It's definitely not fun when you get hit with one of those or run over. That's not fun.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a
or
bunch
When
of
you
fun
run
to me.
into it because you're walking behind them
Mm-hmm.
and they stop.
Yeah, I think those should be reserved for people that need them,
Yes.
not just people who don't want to walk.
I mean, that's people who need them.
No, I feel like there's a lot of people who rent them just because they don't want to walk.
They
Yes.
Not
do.
because they actually need them to not walk, but just because
They just
they're
don't
too
want
lazy to
Yeah.
walk.
Well,
And those are the same people that will run into you.
Yes, they are, actually.
to be fair, not all disabilities are visible. So
Correct.
you
I'm
can't
not
necessarily
saying-
say.
Yes, I'm not saying that I look at people and say they don't need one. I'm just saying the people that run into people are probably the same people that don't need them.
All right. Well, regardless, Amanda, good tip. Definitely with it coming up on summer as of right now. So those
Yeah.
who are going to the parks, just be aware. All right. Well, this week's segment is Hero or Villain, and I chose Donald Duck. What's your first initial reaction for Donald Duck? Hero or villain?
I would say my first initial reaction is hero
Okay. Why?
because it's Donald Duck and
Because he's friends with Mickey.
exactly. he's one of the gang, one of the crew, you know?
One of the Fab Five?
Yeah.
He's Mickey's best friend, or one of them at least. And even though he's a grouch, I don't feel like that makes him a villain.
You know, you bring up a very good point. Like, who is Mickey's best friend?
Donald Duck.
See,
Yeah.
I personally would say Minnie Mouse.
Well, Minnie Mouse is his girlfriend.
I know, but doesn't mean it can't be his best friend.
Yes, but I feel like Minnie Mouse is his girlfriend and Donald Duck is his best friend.
I
But,
think so too.
but you can be best friends with your significant other. I'm just saying.
You can, but I think they
A
have,
different-
yes, I think they're, with these, they have a distinction.
different.
I think Donald's just too angry for best friend status. Like he's that friend that you need in a pinch if something goes down. But I mean, is that really best friend status? I don't think so.
So you're grumpy all the time. Are you saying you can't be best friend status?
No, I can't.
I don't believe that.
I do not leave my house. How am I going to be best friends with anybody if I don't leave my house?
Well, that's your choice. That doesn't mean you can't be a best friend. That just means you're not.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't leave my house because I'm a grouch.
That is true.
I am the Grinch who stays at his house.
That's the wrong franchise.
But I mean, do you think being grouchy makes you a villain?
Okay, Donald's a villain.
I mean, I don't think necessarily it makes him a villain. I personally think that he is a villain just because he gets, it's not that he's just a grouch. He gets like steaming mad over the smallest things.
I could see the similarities.
Yeah, for sure.
So
He just has anger issues and he needs help learning to control his emotions.
I mean, the same can be said about Maleficent. She didn't get invited to a birthday party.
that's ridiculous.
Yes, but Donald hasn't done anything that drastic like Maleficent.
I'm sure if
That's
we
true.
go and watch the tape, I'm sure we can find something.
Donald has PTSD.
That's fair.
He was in all of those war cartoons.
That's fair. He was in the propaganda films.
Yeah, so I just think that he needs a little help. He needs a little therapy. But
He's just misunderstood.
yeah, Mickey obviously sees the good in him. He's a really good friend, apparently. And so I think, I feel like this one is always difficult. Like, I don't know that he's necessarily a hero. He's not a villain, so I'm going to go with hero.
Okay. I'm going to go on the record and say Goofy is probably, if we're going with Minnie is not the best friend, I'm going to go with Goofy as being the best friend because Goofy is just like a fun hang.
That's not what this segment is.
I know.
Nope.
But I'm just going on the record and letting my thoughts be known.
Okay.
You mean the cow? The cow is his best friend?
The cow's his best friend. So I'm saying Donald is a villain. Amanda, Emily, it seems like you're both on the side of hero because he's part of the Fab Five. All right.
That's not the only reason.
No, that's not the only reason. But yes, hero.
Okay. I mean, I can see it. But
Because you know we're right.
nah.
Moving
Well.
on.
Is there really a right or wrong to this? I don't think there is.
And this one, yes.
I don't believe it. All right, let's move on to the main topic. Our main topic is we're going to be talking about our top 3 favorite Disney Renaissance animated films. That means that it's in the time frame of the 90s and the noughties. So
The what?
the 90s and the noughties.
What does that mean?
That's what I want to know.
The 1990s and the early 2000s, before 2010.
Okay, I've never heard it called that before.
Me neither.
Well, read a book.
Okay, I read lots of them.
I do too, and none of them have said that.
All right. Well, anyway, regardless, we're talking about the animated films from 1990 to 2009. There's some really good ones in here.
There are.
Oh,
This
yeah.
one was really hard for me. Like I have my 2, and you probably know what one of them is, but I have those. But the third one, man, it's hard to choose.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my top 3, but I would completely agree that it's very hard. And I really feel like some of them are going to be talked about multiple times.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know because there were so many to choose from that we might have all gotten different ones.
Well, I think Jared and I may have one at least that are the same.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's inevitable.
We could probably go ahead and just talk about that one because everybody knows what it's going to be. and that is going to be Aladdin.
That is right.
Is that on yours too, Em?
Nope.
Okay. I knew at least Jared would agree with me. It's my absolute favorite Disney cartoon. Anyway, so I definitely had to choose it for this episode. I have mentioned this before, but I basically can quote the whole movie without actually watching the movie, and it's just a fun movie to watch. I love the songs, and they're very catchy, and I could watch it over and over again.
And
And
Robin
do.
Williams.
And Robin Williams.
Can't forget
Yeah,
about Robin
I mean,
Williams.
Nope.
it's a really good movie, and that was the problem here because there were so many really good movies,
Yes.
and this is one of them for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I don't want to say everything about the movie makes it the best movie, but I mean, I feel like within this time frame, the cast is good, even though I know that there's some backlash of the casting. The soundtrack is great. I still listen to a lot of the songs on the soundtrack with my daughter when we're in the car. Yeah, so this movie is definitely one of my top 3 in this time frame.
Yes, for sure.
Emily, what about you? What's your first one?
My first one is one that y'all probably do not have on your list, and it's A Bug's Life. And this one came out in 98. And yeah, I mean, y'all can go ahead and say it. Y'all probably don't have it on your list, right?
I do not.
I don't, but this is a good one that I do like a lot.
Yeah, I feel like this is one that a lot of people wouldn't put on their list. It's kind of opinion, like it's not super, super popular still. But I love this movie. It has a lot of feelings of nostalgia for me. I feel like I watched it a ton growing up, and it's super cute. It has good messages, and it's just really fun. So, yeah.
I feel like I'm a little traumatized from being slapped with a fly swatter in the Bugs Life show and being stung also in that show, and bugs running under my booty also in that show. So I could do without it.
I like the movie.
See,
I like it a lot.
I love it. I don't know what it is about it, but I could watch it over and over and over again, and it never gets old for me. Like it's and that's I don't do that with a ton of movies, so that says a lot for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad movie by any means. I do think the movie's cute. I don't necessarily think the show at Disney is quite as cute, but it's still fun.
It is fun if you're an adult to
Yes.
listen to
And
the
know what's
kids
coming.
scream whenever the
Yeah.
fly swatter's coming in and the bugs are crawling up underneath you. And yeah,
It's funny.
Yeah. See, I am not going to traumatize my kids with that. I feel like I did with my oldest, and I am not doing that again with the 2 youngest.
that's fair. All right. My first one was Aladdin, but I'm going to go ahead and go on to my second one, which, Emily, I think this one's going to be on your list. I'm almost positive it is, and that's Lilo and Stitch.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm surprised Em didn't mention that one first.
Yeah, I was gonna save the best for last, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, everything about this movie. I love everything about this movie. Like, I would almost put Lilo and Stitch above Aladdin.
Blasphemy.
I know that kills Amanda.
I do. I love Lilo and Stitch, and this is one of the ones that I considered for my third. It is a great movie. My only thing that I don't necessarily like as much is that it doesn't have its own music. Like everything in the movie is somebody else's music, mostly Elvis's music.
Right.
And so I think that makes pulls it down on my list a little bit just for that reason. But I do really like the movie, and it really makes me want to go to Hawaii. So, I mean, it is a good movie.
Yeah. I really love this movie. Obviously, it's my favorite Disney movie of all time. So, of course, it was going to make the list for me. And I mean, we all know I named my dog after this movie. I just think it's adorable. And it does also make me want to go to Hawaii.
And also,
But
just like
that's just a bonus.
Stitch, I am an abomination.
True. True statement.
I love this movie. I also love the Elvis music in it. I know, like Amanda said, it doesn't have its own, like, really popular songs and things like that for it, but I like the Elvis music.
One thing that I really like about the movie is it's a really strong family unit.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
made
It's a
up
different
of
kind of family.
Yeah, it's made up of a different core unit than a typical family would be. And I really like that about the movie.
Yeah.
I do too.
It shows that families come in all shapes and sizes
Yeah.
and
Family is who you
configurations.
make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I love that.
So, Amanda, what about you? What's your second one?
My second is Beauty and the Beast.
Good choice.
I love this movie. I feel like I'm kind of I relate to Belle more than probably a lot of the other princesses, just because she's studious and likes to read and things like that. And that's definitely me. So I feel like that I'm closer to her than any of the other princesses. And this is another movie I remember watching when I was little and really loving this movie. So yeah, it also has good music.
Has
Really
great
good
music.
music.
Yeah. We all know that Emily really likes this movie too, mostly because of Gaston.
Right?
Oh my goodness. I do really like this movie, not because of that, but I do love this movie. It's super cute. It didn't quite make my list just because there were too many good options to choose from,
There really are.
but I do love it. It is one of my favorites.
And we will go through the list and talk about some of these ones that did not make our top three, because there's just too many to pass up. All right, well, Emily, on that note, then what is your second one?
Well, this will be my last one.
Okay.
Since Lilo and Stitch, we had the same one.
Right.
But my last one is Princess and the Frog, which is at the later end of the list. Like, it was in 2009. It barely makes this list. I really love this movie. I didn't actually watch this until more recently, like in more recent years. And I love the soundtrack. I love the villain. Um, I don't know. I love that it's set in New Orleans. Like, I love the feeling of this movie and the feeling that it gives me. So, it's great. It's probably one of my all-time favorite soundtracks. I love it.
Yeah,
Dr.
I
Facilier
do.
is good, for sure.
Yeah, I like Princess and the Frog too. It's not one I feel like because it came out when my oldest was older and before I had my youngest two, that it's not one that I watched like when it came out, just because of the timing, I guess. And so it's not one that I think of and always run back to, if that makes sense. I watched it more recently for the first time. And while it is a good movie, it's not one I watch all the time.
I mean, that's a fair point. I do think that some of these are going to bring more nostalgia because it's like right there in that wheelhouse, 90s, early 2000s for people that are, mine and Amanda's age. And then Emily, you're just a little bit after us. So that fits more in your wheelhouse too.
I actually did just watch this one more recently, like maybe in the past 4 years, but I've gone back to it repeat. Some of the Disney movies provide more nostalgia for me, but this one just is like a different feeling. I don't know. I love it. And It's very rewatchable, and I sing the songs, so that's why I picked it.
Okay. I mean, all good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just kind of surprises me that you didn't watch it until more recently.
I know. I 2009, I was like a freshman in high school. I don't know that I was really thinking about watching Disney movies that much.
Yeah, I mean, 2009. Yeah, what was I doing in 2000? I don't even remember what I was doing in 2009. Working, I guess. I mean, that's about
Yeah.
it. Working and being, uh, you know, awesome, I guess. All right, well, my last one that I picked for my top 3 is Emperor's New Groove. And I absolutely love this
Oh,
movie. Like, I could watch this movie several times a week.
It is a good choice. That is a good movie. That's not my third
yeah.
one, but it is a good choice.
That's very good. I debated putting that one on my list.
Yeah. I mean, you get a llama, and it's
Yeah, it's a
fun.
fun movie.
And I
Very
mean,
It
fun.
is.
David Spade is a very fun actor. He brings a lot to the character of Cusco.
He does. And Kronk is fun. I like Kronk a lot. Even
Yeah.
though he's kind of a
Yeah.
villain, but
It's a
he's
good
just an
movie.
idiot.
He's like, I don't know.
He's so lovable though.
I feel like we've done a
Mhm.
hero or villain for Kronk before, and I think
I
we've
don't
all
know.
decided that he was a hero, just because he is kind of like the fun-loving kind of idiot of the group that just
Yeah.
kind of doesn't understand, but he kind of
Yeah.
does understand at the same time. So I don't know. It's very, very tough to pick if he's a hero or villain.
Yeah.
I think you
But I do
guys
love him.
ended up saying that he was a hero because of his character development at the end, where he
Yeah, I
was
kind
like
of vaguely
Other
remember that.
his
helping
other
with,
movies.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
But yeah, I mean, it has a great cast. Patrick Warburton. It's got David Spade, like I said. It's got John Goodman. So I mean, really good actors.
Yes.
Just a fun movie overall.
It is.
And we get Cusco's poison, the poison for Cusco.
Now, if they would just go ahead and make the roller coaster, it'd all be good.
That would
I
be
don't
fun. Like,
know.
I'm very surprised that they have not put that in a park somewhere.
Yeah, they've missed the mark on that one for
Right?
sure.
Like, it would
Right.
be perfect for Epcot.
No.
It would. It would.
I think it could go in the place of Rock and Roller Coaster.
That could be fun.
I think it really could go there. Let's get on
Wait,
that.
time out. Where could it go?
Hollywood Studios Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh. I don't know that I agree with you on that, but I do think that there's a place for it for sure.
I mean, I think it would fit better within Epcot than Hollywood Studios, but I mean, like, I understand there's not really a country for it to be in Epcot, but I think that they could make something happen.
I would think probably the closest would probably be Morocco, but it's not an exact fit.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe somewhere in Magic Kingdom. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Get with us, Disney. We'll figure it out. All right, Amanda, what's your last one?
All right. So I'm still kind of struggling between my last two. But I think I'm going to go with Finding Nemo.
Okay.
I think it's a great movie. Teaches kids that they should always listen to their parents, and parents should listen to their kids as well, because you can learn stuff from each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Finding Nemo's good.
that's another one where the family unit is a little different because it's just the dad and the child, and then they kind of adopt someone else, and they're a family though. So
Yeah, to some degree.
to some degree, what do you
To
mean?
some degree. I mean, they don't really.
Dory became family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
They take Dory in.
they do.
So they're a family.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. I can see it.
Yeah, Finding Nemo, there were just so many good ones because I pondered putting this one on my list too. It's also a very good movie. It just didn't quite make the cut.
Yeah. Speaking of movies that didn't make the cut, I'm very surprised Toy Story did not make somebody's cut.
I know it's a good movie too, but it makes me cry. So
Yeah,
mean,
this.
Also, the start of what people now know as Pixar.
I
no,
know.
you're right.
There just weren't. If we had top 5, it would have made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, Ratatouille, is one of my favorites. I know that's not something that a lot of people talk about either, but I love Ratatouille also. So there were just too many to choose from. Too many good ones to choose from.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like let's run down a list real quick. Starting from 1990, we have DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, which is pretty good in its own right. We have The Rescuers Down Under, which I loved whenever I was younger. Haven't really watched it in a long time. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, we talked about those. The Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm very surprised me and Emily did not put this one on our list. The Lion King, which, again, very surprised no one.
That one's prized. Yeah.
A Goofy Movie, which I absolutely love. Pocahontas, Toy Story, James and the Giant Peach, but that's not really Disney. I don't know why that one's listed. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, A Bug's Life, Doug's First Movie, Tarzan, Toy Story 2, Fantasia 2000, The Tigger Movie, Dinosaur, The Emperor's New Groove, Recess, School's Out, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Monsters, Inc., which is a very fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Lilo and Stitch. We have Treasure Planet, The Jungle Book 2, Piglet's Big Movie, Finding Nemo, Brother Bear, Teacher's Pet. Which one's Teacher's Pet? I don't remember which one this one is.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oh, okay. Walt Disney Television Animation. So I'm not sure why that one's on the movies list. Maybe it was a
lot of the ones you said are from Walt Disney Animation, the TV animation.
Yeah, seems like. The Tigger Movie is.
I think
Recess, School's Out is.
Yeah. Yeah, my list is different than what yours list is.
It shows a Goofy Movie was Disney Movie Tunes. So I'm not sure. But either way, a Goofy Movie is deserved to be on this list. Let's see. Let's kind of finish out some of these with the ones that we know. The Incredibles.
Well, you skipped Treasure Planet.
No, I said Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet, Jungle Book 2, Finding Nemo. I said those. Brother Bear. I said that
Brother
one.
Bear. Home on the Range.
Yep. The Incredibles. Let's see. Chicken Little, Bambi 2, Cars, Meet the Robinsons, Ratatouille. Enchanted was fun, not really animated, although it is partially. No. WALL-E. Let's see.
I'm surprised you didn't choose WALL-E. I thought you loved WALL-E.
I do love WALL-E. WALL-E's fun.
I hate WALL-E.
Bolt, Up. I mean, look, there's a lot of them on here.
Up is one of my favorites.
Tangled, Amanda, I'm very surprised. Oh no, wait, that one's getting into 2010. Yeah,
Tangled's not.
The Princess and the Frog is December 11th, 2009. So Emily, you got yours right under the wire.
Yep, barely made it.
Okay, it seems like from 90 to 2009, there are a lot of insert title 2.
Yes,
there
but
are
those
a
are
lot of
usually
seconds.
yes, those aren't usually released by Walt Disney. It's like a subdivision of Walt Disney, so they're not
Yeah,
typically as good as the
they're
originals.
they're not. But it's just it's funny that we have so many of them within this time frame.
Yeah, they
The
were
only
trying to capitalize on movies that already did well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the only one that actually was good was Toy Story 2. And that wasn't even necessarily Disney. That was Disney Pixar.
Right. But
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. Pixar did Toy Story and they did Toy Story 2. It was the same company doing it,
Right.
same thought. Whereas a lot of the part twos from Disney came from a different division of Disney,
Yes.
didn't have as much money as original, and it was a different train of thought, basically. It's not the same people continuing on.
It's not. And I've always been upset with Disney for doing that because all of their sequels never lived up to even a fraction of what the originals were.
Right.
I mean, obviously that has changed over the years, but yeah, it was always a problem with, you get this original animated movie and then you get the sequel, and it's just not as good.
Right.
But I'm glad that has changed.
Me too, for the most part. I mean, they still have some issues sometimes, but most of them are much better.
Like the one that comes to my mind is Frozen.
Yeah.
I mean, some people say that Frozen 2 was better than the original. I don't necessarily
really
agree with
liked it.
that, but it is a very good movie.
It is.
Good.
You're right.
Is there anything that we missed on some of these movies? I mean, I'm very surprised Fantasia 2000 didn't make your list. I know how much you love Fantasia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. First of all, why is it even on the list? It's basically the same movie that was released before. It shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
It's updated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overrated.
I guess.
Yeah, but there's a lot of those that could have been on my list.
Oh, most definitely. Like Emily said earlier, if we had like a top 5, it would, we would be able to get a lot of these on our list. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Let's get into some mousekeeping. We would like to promote our YouTube. We have a bit.ly link. You can find that at bit.ly/T3M YouTube. That's all lowercase. Again, that link is bit.ly/T3M YouTube. You can find us on social media by searching at T3M Podcast. If you love the show, tell your family and friends where to find us, and we only grow because of you spreading the word at home.
There's never been a better time to work with a travel specialist, a primary contact for your questions and concerns, someone to help navigate the new rules and regulations of travel, leaving you time to relax and enjoy the vacation you deserve. Are you ready to see what the world has to offer? If so, contact me. You can find me on Facebook at amanda.hollis, Capture the Magic Vacations, or send me an email at amanda.hollis@capturethemagicvacations.com.
Be sure to subscribe to the show and join us every single Thursday to hear our newest episode.
Before we head out, we do want to announce Amanda and I will be at Disney World in about half a week. We have a trip planned for late June, early July. So if you are at the parks during that time, let us know by getting in touch with us on social media, or you can email us. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. You can also be a part of the magic by following the show at T3M Podcast on all social media platforms. That's T3M Podcast. Leave us a 5-star written review and we'll read it on an upcoming episode. If you have an announcement that you would like to have on the show or just want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at t3mpodcast@gmail.com.
Have a zippity-doo-dah day.
See you real soon.